Mm. Oh, Lord, have mercy. So I'm not gonna let anybody back in again. Never again. All right, that's it. All right, everybody back. Sorry
Pay your
about
bills, man. Pay the bills, man.
that. Pay the bills. I gotta feed the duck. Okay, so all right, let's keep going. All right, so let's get into all right, so we got the picks. It is what it is. That's what we have. John, we can't see you. And Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll, I'm back to you. The same thing. Like it was the defense, and it goes back to show you that when he tries to adhere to the offensive side, to the quarterback, to all those pieces, things go the wrong way. And that's why, to me, it matters. But let's move on. I got the last say there. All right, so
I can put my 2 cents in.
you can, yeah.
Okay, there we go. The only reason Russell Wilson wants to really leave to come to New York is because his wife, Sierra, is a big time singer.
You said that 15 million times. Why you gotta say it again?
He wants to come to New York for her to revive her career. That's the only reason he wants to leave.
Ring the bell. This is the first show you said that.
Victor, can I retort to that just quickly? You don't need to be where the entertainment industries used to be. You don't need to live in Los Angeles. You don't need to live in New York. She's going to be just so comfortable living down in Cherry Creek in Colorado.
Oh,
it's going to be
awesome. Stop recruiting. All right. So look, now let's get to we got that piece. Now, all right. So let's talk about the main story here a little bit. Okay, a little bit about Brian Flores. I don't want to get too deep into this, but I think it's worth talking about. Byron, what are your thoughts on it? And if you want to talk about it, just a little bit.
What's a little bit?
Well, just talk. I'll cut.
I'm going to start drama. Here we go. Bill Belichick did that on purpose, as far as texting the message to Brian. I'm going to just throw it out there, Brian Flores, because how is it that this guy, you got Brian Flores, you got Brian Daboll in your phone? Yeah, I know with me being the old guy, if I got 2 names the same, I'm going to put the first and last name on there. I'm going to do that. But I think Belichick did it just to stir the pot. That's the only reason he did that on purpose.
Okay.
And I'm done with it.
Okay. All right. So, but what do you think? 2 things, right? They interviewed Leslie Frazier, correct?
Yes.
They interviewed. Yeah.
Interviewed.
Yeah. Time out, but they interviewed him. Let me just get to where I'm trying to head to, right? Number one, let me ask you a question, Byron, because you'll know this better than any of us. By the way, Alex, Byron played several years with the Minnesota Vikings. So he's an ex-NFL player, also military, and also police, law enforcement sheriff. So
thank you for your service.
I'm sitting here doing this.
and that's where this gets you. Hey man, we're growing. We're over 200. Trust me, bro. You'll be happy a couple of years. We're doing all right.
And Uncle Eric. Don't forget Uncle Eric.
Uncle Eric is on there, and the fans are coming out. And now we got New England. We're covered all throughout the country, everywhere but Jersey.
That's ultimate irony in your show name.
That's right. Byron, the Rooney Rule. What, can you explain the Rooney Rule? Is there a number of minority coaches that are supposed to be interviewed? Is it that you have?
I think you have to have one, like Zoom or whatever they're doing, then one in person. That's 2 meetings, and that's just.
But it's only one person.
In person.
No, but one person of color, or is there a number of people of color you have to?
I don't know.
I think it's just one.
It's one.
Okay, so if it's
generally, sometimes they'll be thrown in at the end just to fit the rule.
Right. Yeah. So Leslie Frazier was the one,
and Pat Graham too. Patrick Graham.
Oh, they interviewed Patrick Graham, right?
Did not know that.
I think so.
I didn't know that either. Sure. Okay, so then that's good. Okay, number one. Number 2. My point here, right? And I was a Brian Flores fan. Not that I'm not. I'm going to tell you what I said. I was invited on Aaron's show yesterday, and I gave my voice to it. And happy Black History Month, Byron, and to the HBC schools out there. But
University of Tulsa, man, come on.
University of Tulsa. Well, I'm just giving our boy Glenn, right?
Oh, yes, right, Glenn. Yeah, Glenn Richardson.
Man, Glenn Richardson went to
Howard University.
Howard University, and we got all our boys. So but so here's how I looked at it. I said, one, I don't know what Flores is doing. So he's either deciding, and which was repeated today, right? Which I'm proud to say, except for I don't make the millions to be on TV yet. So hopefully they'll get me on TV if I can stay as good looking as I am when I get older. But anyways, is that he's either shooting for a moral victory, because there's a zero-sum game here, right? A zero-sum game of what he's doing, right? Because he's trying to be a Kaepernick, and where that landed him, and really Kaepernick didn't make a difference, and he may be somebody that will be remembered, but this still didn't make an impact because we still got issues, right? Number one. Number two, I don't understand, to me, right? We knew that Joe Shane was coming. We knew that Daboll and Frazier's was up there. He's as proof is in the pudding. He's taking as many of his boys from Buffalo as possible. So he was going to either take Frazier or Daboll, and maybe he felt the same way you guys feel about the offense. So let me bring the offensive people that I have, because I just prefer. I would have preferred Frazier.
He took a young lady too from the Buffalo staff too,
and he took a lady from the Buffalo staff. So I'm just saying to you is that he's taking Buffalo people. It's just Frazier wasn't enough that they had, and they already had a good defensive coach. Maybe that's what he was thinking, right? So I don't know. Right. And I wanted Flores. I mean, if this guy was going to come, I wanted Flores, and I would have taken Daboll as an offensive, coordinator or whatever. But I just think that, I didn't realize he was suing the Giants until I found that out. And I thought that was a bad move. And then I found out he's suing the Denver Broncos, which is a bad move. And then Brian, so I'm saying that, he's going to be he still's got a couple interviews left. Who's going to hire him?
Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah,
out of fear. Out of fear.
I'm just telling you, if it was me, I would, like John said, out of fear. I'm not going to worry about every single thing I got to do. I'm not going to worry about anything that happens. I wouldn't hire him. He's going to be, and they even said it. He's going to be blackballed, bro. They're going to try to do whatever he can.
It's a shame. He is a heck of a coach.
We all agreed he's going to land somewhere. We already talked about
now,
that.
Do we know this wasn't a Bill Belichick move to get him to go back to New England and eventually succeed him, especially now that McDaniels?
That's sneaky.
McRaider?
I'm telling you, don't call Byron before you come on my show. All you doing is feeding the old man, Nick. Feeding
there's a
him
lot
fire.
of jokes about how Bill Belichick really is a great head coach. But I think that doesn't a lot of different things. Where, what would be the one franchise that wouldn't be afraid to take on Brian Flores after what's currently going on? Which, by the way, I feel better about the Giants side of things by the day, because I had completely forgotten about the whole head coaching search. I forget why, but it's like, oh crap, did they not interview any other people of color before they essentially got to Flores? So I'm like, I wanted Flores too, I'll admit, but I don't get this one. Though I think the bigger headline coming out of this is if it's found true, the Dolphins owner offering him $100,000.
I'm going to go to that next. Hold on to that. I'm going to get to that next.
I've noticed that story seems to be dying very quickly, and I don't know if that's an editorial thing.
Joe, I think that makes a worse case for him. But I'll go to that. Joe?
I think when you talk about him doing this for the impact, he can't look at it, and that's the same thing that Colin Kaepernick did. It's the same thing that Tommy Smith did. It's the same thing that all these athletes do when they take the stand. You don't think of it in terms of what impact it's going to directly have on you. You're willing to sacrifice that. You think about the impact that it can have on others that come after you. And so I think that's why he's doing it. It very well may not prevent him from getting a job. I mean, I think if I'm an NFL owner at this point with this lawsuit, I'd be more afraid not to hire him than I would be to hire him. So I think my first reaction was the same, Vic. He's screwing himself, but I think things are a little different in that respect now. And I also think that if he's doing this for the right reasons, he's thinking of those that come after him. The same thing Curt Flood did in baseball, basically sacrifice his own career in the prime of his career to make sure players be.
Did it make a difference?
It did make a difference.
Yeah, it
He completely changed the labor market in sports.
All I cared about it was yes. Did Colin Kaepernick make a difference? No.
It depends on who you ask, man.
It did not make a difference.
Well,
did not make a
in terms
difference.
of the systemic change, no, nothing is systemically
Nothing's
changed. In the
changed.
NFL.
Brian Flores,
But it's
nothing's
opened the
going
eyes.
to change.
But nothing's going to change unless little things.
I'm okay with him, and I'm okay with him if that's what his decision was. But that was my point. My point was just bringing up the only thing he could be doing this for before it came to fruition is to take a moral stand. And I hope he's got enough money put away, because I would not hire him unless what Alex said for the New England Patriots. I would not, as an owner, an owner of other companies. No, I am not going to hire. I am not going to hire someone that I'm concerned with, right? Because there's things that he brought out that he could have handled 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He could have went to Goodell. He could have done other things.
What good would have that have done? Goodell would have sat on it.
Go, Joe.
Here's the thing, guys. Ron. When we're talking about 2019, when he's interviewing in Denver, or Elway and Ellis came out, and Alex, I am a Bronco fan from May 5th, 1968, the day I was born, to today. And I love John Elway, the player. John Elway, the executive, killed that team. Peyton Manning was the only good thing he did. Him and DeMarcus Ware. That was it. All right. So I not saying that Flores' story can't be true, only because I've seen video of John Elway walking around downtown Denver drunk off his butt. Okay. I'm going to lend Brian Flores more of a pass on this, especially when it comes to my team, because of knowing what goes on in Denver stays in Denver type thing. Okay. However, and I agree with Joe. If I'm an owner and if I'm looking to make an impact and a splash, he's a good coach. Okay. He was stuck with Mr. Fragile quarterback, Byron. And then, he wasn't able to run his team. So if I'm an owner and I'm serious about head coach, it's going to make not only a change for my team, but also maybe impact systemic change, I'm going Flores.
I like Flores as an owner. And if I had $1 billion, he's screwed. I ain't hiring him. You ain't gonna do shit to do me. You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing to make me change my mind. I'm not gonna worry about my team. I'm not gonna worry about what I gotta say. I'm not gonna worry about a possible suit. That's why people look at your workers' comp history when they go to hire you. If they see you got a workers' comp claim, if you had something, they're gonna do whatever they can. You're not supposed to.
So what
they ain't gonna hire your ass because they gonna let you slip and fall to make another false claim about something that's going on.
When did Vic turn into Mr. Burns? When did that happen?
I think he's. I don't like it. I think I wouldn't. I don't. You know.
But you don't think
there's so many players that are coming out now. Like people are coming out. Elway came out. Tiki Barber came out. I mean, you're talking about you're coming against some serious, like the Wellingtons, the Maras and stuff. Come on, you've never heard of that.
Yeah,
happening.
The way they've been talking about this case since the story came out a few days ago, I definitely feel like there's not as much there with the Giants one as there might be with either Denver or the damning thing about in Miami that we'll talk about.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
I think the Giants are in trouble too. That looks shady. The whole Daboll
Why?
thing. Because they obviously knew they were hiring Daboll before they even bothered to interview those other guys.
Okay,
and whether or not
that's not true. Wait a second.
Whether or not they say that they've got a paper trail that backs them up. Of course, they're not friggin' stupid. they're not going to overtly say that. But I guarantee you, at some point, someone who knows Bill Belichick talked to him on the phone and said, "Yeah, we're hiring Daboll," and that's when he sent that text.
Okay, I understand that, but they already had interviewed Frazier. They already interviewed Graham. Okay, they've already done that. So that Belichick, that text came afterwards. To me, it's still bad. Maybe you don't know. Look. Do I think that there can be? I'm not saying that he's not lying or there's not an issue. That's not even the case, right? I don't want to make sure we're clear. I think there is an issue because there's period, right? This is why, when we go about coaches, it bothers me that Bieniemy hasn't had a shot, right?
Why with him?
Well, yeah, he's got.
Well, because but it defeats Joe's purpose. He's got the best guy that's next to him to help his quarterback. Right?
Yeah, but wait a minute. Wait. Do you know Eric Bieniemy's whole history?
You told me.
I do.
I'm sure John knows.
Yeah, there's other reasons.
You rooting for him last year. Now you got all the dirt on him.
No, I'm not turning on. I'm just saying he has issues in his background. The stuff that he has in his background, he's not going to get hired as a head coach because these guys that own these teams are not going to want to have to explain why, this guy did this in college, he did that, he did this. They're not going to want to do that. They're not
that's the same team that's being accused of being racist.
Who?
The Giants.
The Chiefs I'm talking about with Bieniemy. That's why he's not getting hired because of stuff in his background from years ago.
He's not getting hired, right? But you're saying that he's not getting hired from other teams.
Right. He's not getting hired by anybody. He's going to stay right unless the Chiefs would probably be the only team that probably would hire him as the head coach because of what he's done there. That's the only. He's not going to go outside of the Chief Nation to get a job. Nope. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I'm 100%.
He will not be welcome
sure
back.
Brian Flores will not have a head coaching job this year.
Say that again, Vic.
Say it.
I'm 100% sure Brian Flores will not have a head coaching job this year.
Which is
if he doesn't get one this year, does that mean he doesn't get one ever?
No, this year. Number one. And number two, the only job he'll get is the same job that the poor guy got last year, the Houston Texans.
It's still a job. It's still one of the 32.
Yeah.
Still a job.
But it's also it's still the duck.
Yeah.
Right? It's still the duck.
Yeah, his lawsuit is a class action lawsuit. So there's going to be other people that with the NFL are going to be piling on that lawsuit. He's not going to be the only one. He's doing for the fact that somebody's going for a front office job at NFL. They're going for and they've been doing this for years, not letting the minorities put their foot in the door. And I'm not talking about just the coaches. I'm talking about the front office jobs, general manager jobs, and all this other stuff. That's the problem. That's what the issue that he's talking about.
But the Miami Dolphins coach GM is a man of color, no?
Yes.
All right. So now let's get to the other issue.
So racism's over. There's one GM in the league.
We slapped the decals on the helmet.
No, that's not true. What's his name for Baltimore? Ozzie Newsome. He's done a hell of a job there. A great job as a GM.
Which is the only reason he's still around. Flores got 2 years in Miami and was good and got.
Don't drag me into. I'm fighting that it's not racism, right, Joe? Don't do that because I'm gonna blow this up. You can't even imagine, right? Let's not even get there because you guys want to count the sports as a sport when you want to, and then you want to count it as a business when you want to.
It's a business.
It's a business. It's entertainment.
So time out. So you don't know. Let me give you a hypothetical like Byron wants to do, right? Let's say, because I'm a John, I don't believe Blue has any racism. Tiki Barber started crying on a podcast. You saw that out. Okay. I mean, I don't see it in the Maris. I don't see it in Wellington. I don't see it. Right? They've been loyal to their coaches. Now, hold on.
I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna ask you one question. One question only. Okay. Why did they have to put the Rooney Rule in place? These owners. This is their idea. It wasn't the players. It wasn't anything else. It was the owners that did this. So if the owners
and the Giants are connected.
No. Why would they want to put a rule in like that if they didn't think anything was wrong?
Right. I agree.
Why
I'm
would
not
they-
saying the Giants are
It's
racist.
evolution. You have to start putting those pieces in place. You got to give people shots.
from 2003, and it's still you got one NFL black coach.
Yeah,
Why
we're
would
back
you put-
the
why-
Mike Tomlin only, right?
Yeah, the
Jeez.
owners.
But not
put
this
that
year. How many
Brian.
black coaches were there this year?
There's
They're
one
all
now.
fired. One,
No, last year.
I think there were
not
3.
many. 3, maybe.
Yeah.
Or why is it that David Culley got fired after 1 year? Or the guy in San Diego got fired after 2?
Yeah,
Or in Denver, the guy
Flores got 2,
fired
yeah.
after 2?
Vic, I'm not saying that the Giants are a racist organization. I'm saying they are operating like the rest of the NFL does, where they're bringing these candidates in just to satisfy the letter of the rule, and they're not actually considering hiring any of them.
Right.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing with that. All I'm saying to you is, though, there is a scenario, right? Because the GM from Buffalo, right, had a choice. I mean, it had to be a tough choice to bring as a head coach between his offensive coordinator and his defensive coordinator, right? And you guys are all saying offense, offense, offense. So you picked the guy that I didn't want. I wanted Frazier, right? That's number one. He did bring a woman coach over, as Byron stated, right? Okay, number one. Number two, okay, you don't know if the Giants, after they interviewed Frazier, Patrick Graham, Daboll, and the GM's like, look, this is what I really want. You said it. Alice had said it. This is who I really want. Okay, great. Well, let's finish the interviews because we had already set him up. Let's give this guy a shot so we know what we have here and give him a chance to interview, get some experience, go whatever. But I've already made my decision, right? So I've been in positions that I had 10 interviews. On the 4th interview, that was the person I wanted, but I want to see the next couple people, right? And then but I already knew I'm going to take that guy. I had no bearing on what that person's gender, race, or anything it was, right? But maybe I didn't want to cancel it. Maybe I didn't want to do it. You still have, it's a business. I have a choice.
I get that when you look at this one as a
Brian,
snapshot.
you guys also mentioned sometimes these guys, I asked you, Byron, why are these guys even interviewing? You say, look, they want to get that interview experience. Right? They want to get that. Well, you don't know if that's what they wanted to answer them. I'm not defending them. I'm just saying
them.
There's another side to the piece that as a business, you have the right to a major decision, but you should have given everybody the right shot.
Yeah, but my problem is, why would the owners run everything.
Yep.
Yes.
Roger Goodell is just a pawn. That's all he is. He works for them. He worked for them. So why in 2003, I'm just going to say it again, why would they feel they would have to set up a Rooney Rule if they weren't doing anything wrong to begin with? Why would you set up a rule? No, it doesn't make any sense.
I get you. But the guy it's named after.
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah.
Was a stand-up guy, yes?
Okay. I don't know a person.
And Vic, so were the Maras. You're right. You're right. The Maras were key in getting this thing in.
Yes. Have they done right by all of their coaches?
No.
We don't know that.
No one does. No one.
3 or 4 coaches. That's it.
Okay.
You can't say they haven't done right. They've only had 4 coaches.
Well, no one does right by all their employees. That's what I'm saying. Somewhere in there's a pissed off coach. That's all.
Somebody's angry.
Okay, they're head
Fossil.
coaches.
Just throwing it out there.
I was gonna say just Fossil.
Big coach.
Ray Hanley.
So now,
anyhow, good one.
All I'm saying to you is that that's one. Number 2, I wish that if Flores had his issue, why is he bringing up a second one, which is the tanking piece, right? The $100,000 piece, right?
Because it puts them in a position.
That's a totally separate piece. That's tampering. That is a major issue there.
That should be an internal league thing.
I understand why he brought it up. It's because it's part of the reason that he lost his job. It's because he didn't win enough games. And if you're losing games because the owner's paying you to lose games, you can then assume that the owner's also not intentionally not putting you in a position to win those games.
Yeah.
Right, but okay, why?
You're losing this one, though. Just so you know.
I'm not losing nothing. This is about opinion. It's not right or wrong. The person who's going to lose is Flores.
He's not going to lose anything. He's going to get paid. He's going to get a job. He's going to get one.
Or else he'll retire and just live on a beach somewhere.
There you go.
I don't know who's made that much money.
Vic, I
Oh, he
think,
will from the lawsuit.
I think
He's
as you
not going to
describe,
win the lawsuit.
oh, I
Okay.
don't know, man.
They're gonna
I
He's
don't know.
not going to win the lawsuit.
There's gonna be
Literally,
some-
there
Let's
was gonna
hold
be a
on. Let's
settlement
get
out of
back. Let's get
court.
back to the tanking games. Get back
They
to
go back to the
tanking.
tanking games.
Yeah.
He's not going to win that lawsuit. Not going to win, and if it's going to be lengthy, it's billions. I don't care who. The only reason attorneys are going to take it is so they get a name out there. That's
Yeah,
it.
he's got 2 attorneys that were sitting with him on TV.
Yep.
Right,
Well,
and that's it.
He ain't got a
That's all they
job, so
want.
he's got time.
I don't know what the outcome that he wants from this is either. I mean, what are they going to do? Come up with another Rooney Rule that ends up being useless and has no effect?
Rule.
Right.
20 years, we're going through this all over again.
Yep.
I don't know what, and that's why I think Vic.
But we're off the hiring. I'm on the tampering, right? I mean,
Yeah.
right. That piece right there should have been brought to light. Like if you wanted to make a statement on that, the second you walked out, that's what you shouldn't have waited until after you got interviewed. You shouldn't have waited until after you got the text. You should have waited right then and there. You asked me to lose. I lost. Okay, I didn't want to listen to you, but I still lost, and you still fired me right then and there. Screw the rest of the interviews. That's when you should have made your case.
I think
you had other interviews.
No.
Who's he going to go to? Who's he going to complain to?
Exactly. I think this is
Yeah.
the proper arena to
Yeah,
bring it out. You
HR,
let the
know.
courts deal with it. You let everything come out
Yeah.
properly. I agree.
Well,
I'm going to say I'm confused. What? I didn't tell you the arena. I'm talking about timing. The second he walked out of the Dolphins, that he got fired, is when all that issue should have been brought up.
Who's
like
gonna
Byron
go-
said, who would have believed him?
who would have believed him? Yeah.
Who?
But he didn't-
Who do you go to? Who's going to believe? Who do you go to? Roger Goodell? He works for the owners.
Okay, wait, time out. You're saying that it was better for him not to get a job and then bring it up?
Well, I think he assumed he was gonna probably get another head coaching job, if
Yeah.
not with the Giants, and this would have kind of swept this all under the rug in his mind. But now he's pissed off.
So in other words, something that you're willing to say is wrong now would it have been wrong if you got a job?
No, it was still
Welcome to
wrong. It's just
Still
not
wrong,
enough.
yeah.
No,
Vic,
no,
do you-
no.
do-
That's
Vic,
not a
do-
man of, that's
Vic,
not a man of integrity. It's either wrong and it's wrong.
Okay, hold on.
It's
Let
not
me.
wrong and you sweep it under because you got the Giants job.
If he was a true man of integrity, he would have gone at the time.
That's
That it
my
happened.
point.
And I'm not talking wait until after you're fired. I'm talking the day that he said, "Oh, well, here's $100,000 if you lose." I'm saying, you know what? If I'm a man of integrity, and I'm not saying I am, but how many times in a management position that you guys, if you have been in, where you have an issue that came up that's been festering, you ask the employee, well, when did this first occur? Well, back then, and you're like, and you didn't say anything then? You know, it's that kind of thing. And I'm not saying Brian Flores doesn't have integrity. Like I said, I think he's a fantastic coach. I think there's some credence to what he's saying. Not a lot. I'm not saying yes or no, but there is something there. Okay. But to tank games, he should have brought that up the day that it happens, quit his job. And that's where you take a moral stand. That's where you show who you are, that you want to win, because that's what's right. That's
Let's talk
my
about.
See, I
blackballing-
actually, I think you had it right on the first half of that, John, that when that happens, like it takes a while to build up to the point where you're willing to sue the friggin' league and
Right.
sue the team that didn't
Right.
hire you. And so I think when that thing happens, you say, that's kind of screwed up. That shouldn't be happening. And then when you see these things sort of cascade on top of each other, culminating in every doughy white face in football getting hired over you.
Yeah, no, and Joe, I'm not saying that you're wrong on that.
Adam Gase.
But I will say, in Denver's defense, I will use one name, Vance Joseph.
Don't hear those words often
Yeah,
in Denver's
so-
defense.
Yeah, but hey, with Wade Phillips, we had one. But anyway, so I think that he should have, when that came up, I probably would have had that, I was portraying myself as kind of the rebel type thing, but I wouldn't have that sellout thing. That's where you take that sellout a little too far, where you're like, okay, I'll take your money. Oh, you're gonna fire me anyway? Okay. Well,
And
I
I'm
got an
sure-
extra $100K.
And I'm sure when that happened, Vic, he went to his agent and his
Yeah.
wife and his assistants. I'm sure it was discussed widely, and I'm sure
That
at
means
some
more
point,
more people better come out then.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
sure
like
more people have come out.
action
He's not the only
lawsuit,
one with these
class
stories.
action. It's a
Yeah.
whole bunch of people are filing stuff right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there was at least one other coach that came out with said, "Oh yeah, my owner did the same
Jackson.
stupid thing."
Hugh
Which
Jackson,
is really,
yeah.
which is insane because when you think about it, he lost like 30 games in 2 years, so that's another $3 million on paper.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Wait a second. He was offered that. My understanding is he didn't take.
A Hugh Jackson.
No.
Oh. Well, but once again, he lost anyway. So, but the second it was offered, that's when you blow the whistle. If you're me, okay.
If you're me, I would have had a spy pen with a microphone.
There you go.
So I'm wondering, when he
I
said
would've
this
got
happened
you.
in 2019, was this like the preseason? Was this like week 8? Like,
No,
when did
this-
this conversation happen?
It was
Like that-
2020.
It was
I think.
2019, the year when it was tank for Tua that eventually became Burrow.
Yeah.
That was the season he says it happened. But I'm wondering if this was like the Dolphins owner knew they were going to be a terrible team and wanted him to tank, or if this was, all right, this isn't working out. Start losing games, please. Like, I'm curious when this conversation within the context.
Well, I think as Byron and Joe both said, all this stuff's going to be coming out. And we're actually going to get exact dates and times and all that.
Yep, and
So-
copies of text messages. And
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I just, I like him as a coach.
I do too.
I'm not upset with what's happening. I want to change. My only concern was, I think it's a zero-sum game he's playing. And I think it's hard. It is hard to win against the NFL.
And the thing with Kaepernick had,
You're talking about 52 teams and 52 billionaires.
yeah,
Right?
52, 32, man.
32, man, not
32.
52.
Don't make the
Where
NFL
the extra
green.
teams from?
I was thinking
Birmingham.
of the players. I was adding the USFL.
USFL. you got it.
and Canada.
It's an Upsala College education.
Okay,
right
Byron,
there.
32 times a billion. It's still
They
a lot
put
of
in the
money.
SEC.
There's a lot of money. I mean,
Well,
The Broncos are apparently worth $4 billion.
3.8, but that's
Oh my
you're
God, that
close.
was
I
insane.
don't know
when I
how.
heard that number
Dallas
the other
sold
day.
$6 billion.
Yeah.
Geez, what are the Yankees worth? 20?
Now Dallas is probably number one, and Yankees.
Got to be Yankees.
The Rangers surprisingly are like super high, and I know it's mainly Madison Square Garden is like the reason, but still.
But them
Yeah,
soccer
but then-
teams are worth a fortune too.
Yeah, but let's take the real sports. Sorry.
If somebody would buy the Knicks and Rangers from the Dolans, I would nominate that person for sainthood.
All right.
Lord.
All right, let's go. Okay, come on. I'm getting running a little late here. Hey, for all you Brady haters, okay, I am sad that he's retired. Okay, and I want you to hope you saw the Twitter what Patrick Mahomes said, how he got through security after they beat Kansas City and went and had a conversation with him. Brady's a stand-up guy. You may not like him, but like I said, growing up, you hear about all these. I mean, Alex, you're a young guy, right?
I was
So-
8 with the first one. Yeah.
Right. So my point being is there's players of greatness that you hear about, and it was awesome, and you could talk about them, but you didn't see them. But
Yeah.
now you're young. Please, no matter who your team is, as you get older, like me, I start now appreciating the people that I saw that I used to hate while I was young and they were playing.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm
Yeah.
just trying to tell you because you think back about it, I had the privilege to see a lot of great players. And, I'm a big Yankee fan. And as much as you could talk about Mantle and this and that, I didn't see them. But I was able to see the great, the 1972 teams and the 1990 teams. You know what I mean? And I saw the next set of greatness. And then now, even the kids, because of the way there's, that there's more TV, you can see more games and so forth. You're able to see, greatness that you normally wouldn't have seen. Like I got 15 Sports Illustrated covers with Jordan on it. I hated Jordan, but I don't regret, man, I'm glad to see him. I hated Kobe, God rest his soul. But man, I'm so glad and blessed that I was able to see that guy play. You know what I mean? So embrace it because it's hard when you're young. So whatever. You can say whatever you want about Brady. He's still the best and the greatest that ever was.
That's what.
And I'm not a New England fan. Quarterback.
That's what.
Quarterback.
No, he's not.
Nice.
No. You if you want to use greatest, you want to talk about that and throw in most successful. I don't think he was the best quarterback to play the game.
Most successful, yeah.
I don't think he was the most talented. I don't think he had the best tools. Sorry. He accomplished more than any other quarterback.
He's the GOAT.
But so much of that
Greatest of all time.
But so much of that he owes to Belichick.
Greatest of all time.
What does that mean? Greatest? What do you use? What's your
hey, how about picks for this weekend? What do you guys think?
Let's go. He's greatest of all time. Thank you, Brady, for giving us. It's a pleasure to watch.
Can we not talk?
I mean, I'd call him one of the more
I think you
ultimate
guys are all
competitors.
wrong. That's
you know what? Let him get it out of the system because after today, we'd never have to talk about Brady ever.
Well,
It's
hold on.
not true because he may come back just like Favre.
Joe, can I just say one thing? Who's the one team that Brady has a losing record against? The Denver freaking Broncos.
It was the Giants until 2015 as well.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yep. So no, I'm fine with Brady. He's done nothing against my guys, but yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, move on. Get on, Brady.
Post game. Chiefs, Cincinnati versus the Chiefs, San Francisco 49ers. By the way, Byron picked San Francisco, so you weren't the only one, Joe. So they're your number one. Number two, I was 0 for 2. No, I picked the Rams. No. Yeah, Byron picked the 49ers. So he was wrong. I picked the Rams. Byron picked Cincinnati. John picked the Chiefs, and John picked the Rams.
But I caveat to that said I
So
wanted
John and I
Bengals.
were 1-1. Yeah, but so did I.
Yeah.
That's a bullshit. Come on.
I hate
Don't
Kansas
make
City,
me shut
dude.
you off. Okay, so we were all 1-1, and Joe, you were 2-0. That's why you showed up the following week. Just so
I'll take my trophy and my genius hat, please.
Okay, so now I don't know about a genius hat because it was shitty. Because now let's get to that game. Okay, and it came out again. Okay, it goes to show where when you have a superstar quarterback, you miss the coach, goes to the coach, Byron goes to the coach, then you guys, it's the players, whatever. To me, that loss falls on the responsibility has to lie additionally, because it was a group, on Mahomes for that call on that 3-yard line.
Oh, I gotta take the hat off.
At the end of the first half.
Yeah, at the end of the first
Oh yeah,
half.
they got way too cute when I'm not saying they should have kicked the field goal. I don't hate the play call of going for it, but the
Behind the end zone.
Chucked it at the end zone. When you should have just chucked it at the end zone, just throw it at Kelsey, throw it at Hardman, just throw it at someone who's in the end zone, not Tyreek Hill who's on the 3.
Which was
155-pound wide receiver.
Right, which was Mahomes talking them into let's go for it, or then calling the play, or going with the play. Right.
Who's the head coach? Who's the head coach?
You're gonna go back at well, you can say they both have culpability, but I think Mahomes had his hand in it because he's a superstar, and the coach is gonna go, okay, you got
who's the head coach? Who's the head coach?
I don't know.
I'm asking you, who's the head coach?
I don't know.
Andy Reid, right?
This is why you're asking me if you know.
Yeah, come on now. It ultimately falls in his lap.
I mentioned I didn't say quarterback. I said Mahomes. I didn't go.
It's
Who's
his
the
fault.
quarterback?
It's his fault, man. Come on, man. Come on. You know it is. It's his fault.
I'm saying he has to take ownership in that loss. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes, sometimes you have a game, you can't take any ownership in that loss. Defense. If that interception was made on San Francisco, they would have won the game.
Stay in the other game. Stay where we are. Don't worry about that.
We could go this for the end of time, like with the Giants Super Bowl, speaking of which. If Asante Samuel doesn't let that ball out of his hands, Brady would have been the Giants. We could do this to the end of time. The games happen.
Yeah. But
I think that play was called in by Jackson Mahomes. So
when they hit you right in the hands, that's a different story. But all I'm saying to you is that was a poor coaching call.
I
in my
agree.
life.
And
How do you throw the ball behind the end zone? I don't.
You said
I-
coaching call?
Indian.
Did you say coaching call?
Yeah.
Okay.
did.
I agree with you, Vic. And
But Byron, you know, you pick it. You love just going against anything I say, so it really don't matter to me. That's why I'm going to give you crap when you go. Okay, but when the coach calls a call, I'm telling you, when you got a superstar quarterback in there, he's going to sway you.
No, he's not. He's going to get up to the line and go, Omaha, and change the play.
No, he ain't. That's right. And he's going to either decide to change the play or not. So
Well,
bottom
but
line is,
Vic,
he has ownership. Go.
there's no way that was the first option on that play. That had to be
No.
like his third check down.
Yeah,
So
That
I
was
think-
a stupid check down.
And what's that?
That was a stupid check down.
Yeah, why
Well, but you
Tyreek
got- you
wasn't
have to
going in
have
the
one.
end
You have
zone,
to
I
have-
don't get that.
You have to have someone.
Whatever the check down is, you could have one, but it's a stupid check down. And I'm telling you right now, man, if that was one of the check downs, that's the stupidest third option check down to have 5 seconds left to throw the ball
With no timeouts.
3 yards behind the line of scrimmage with no timeouts. I
Man,
He had to be called in the play.
There, in
No,
two
but he's
ways.
got issues.
Two ways I agree with you wholeheartedly, Vic. I don't believe in Andy Reid very much. It's why I picked the Bengals last week. And I think the stupid NFL passing game where you're throwing these balls behind the line of scrimmage or completing 1 or 2 yard passes is the stupidest thing I have ever seen. It doesn't get you anywhere. I don't know. I agree with the stupidity of that outlet, but at some point too, when you're back there, you got to get rid of the ball. So
Yeah.
the
No,
design wasn't
design
optimal.
play. That wasn't a third option in the play. That was the play. Joe, it wasn't his third read. It wasn't option 1, 2, 3. His
How do you
first
know?
read.
How do you know?
Because I do know.
How do you know?
I know the play.
I don't, and Vic,
Have they
I don't remember the
explicitly said
play.
what they were
I
doing?
don't have it visualized in my head well enough to say
have
whether
it
you're right or
visualized in
wrong.
my head,
So
no. It's the first option. Boom, bang, bang. You got 5 seconds. There ain't no way you're going to scan the field 5 seconds knowing that if you don't get it, you get a touchdown. No way. It's the first option. He took it, boom, threw it right away. It was a designed play. Option 1.
then sure, it's 100% on Andy Reid, and I'm happy to pile on that guy with you because I think he's overrated.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not true. I am saying to you that like Byron said, he goes to the line, calls Omaha, and decides to call a play. You don't know if they said, let's just get the field goal, let's go in, or let's run. No. Mahomes has a say in it. It's no different when you heard there's times when quarterbacks have told the coach, because I don't want to say who, Brady said, no, let's go for it. He throws a touchdown. Okay. So come on. When you have that's the problem. When you have a superstar quarterback, you have a tendency to maybe change your mind as a head coach based on what they're asking for. You're trying to appease them. Remember, they scored 3 times in a row before that.
And Mahomes is the one with the
And
ball in his
Spagnuolo should
hand.
be fired.
Mahomes is the one with the ball in his hands. If he thinks it's that crappy of a call, he could just take the ball and throw it out the back of the end zone.
He should have just ran it himself then.
Run it where?
That's just as dumb as throwing a pass behind
They're
the
all
line.
stupid. That's my point. They're all dumb. Right?
Like I said, Jackson
Spagnuolo-
Mahomes called that play.
Spag-
All right, let's move on.
Spagnuolo
Let's
should
move
be
on.
fired. But Spagnuolo should be fired also
For what?
because it was deja vu.
Man,
He
Vic's got a short fuse for everybody today.
Everybody's like being nasty and everything. Man, I'm like,
Spagnuolo should be fired. This is a playoff game. You were losing. You were winning last time to them 21-0 at halftime and lost again.
how is it that, okay, so they go in at halftime, they're running up and down the field, KC. They come out, Cincinnati makes whatever adjustments, and what happened? Patrick Mahomes had 50 yards total in the second half. What Cincinnati didn't, they made the right adjustments, and you mean to tell me Kansas City with all the veteran coaches couldn't they were running a 3-man rush, dropping 8 people back, and they had the whole field covered, Cincinnati.
Which was stupid. Okay?
What, Cincinnati?
No, I don't understand how Spagnuolo sees the guy get sacked 9 times the week before and barely blitzed. He didn't blitz this kid. They had the worst offensive line. Everybody knows it. He did not attack the quarterback.
And what happened every time? That kid can run. He's not like a slug back there. He can run.
He's not Tua.
No. And he got out of a great. He did a few great plays where they had him, and he got out of it. That kid's awesome. But I'm just saying to you, he didn't aggressively go after him, knowing the line you have. If the Rams do that, they got a problem. That's just stupid.
But anyway, moving forward.
Yeah, let's.
And yeah, Spagnuolo should be fired too.
No, it shouldn't. The Reed should be fired too for not making the adjustments at halftime the way Cincinnati did.
Reed's a good coach.
I feel like we need to start calling into question Reed's one ring, which was against who? Not Cliff Kingsbury. Sorry, I forgot his name already. The coach of San Francisco, who is also not great as he's.
Alex, is that a Burmese you got there?
Yes, this is my dog nephew Bernie.
Hey, Bernie.
All right,
Yeah, I think he needs to go out soon.
Let's get on to San Francisco and the Rams. Okay, even that game. Okay, I picked the Rams, but I could tell you what, I thought they should have won way more by 3 points.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I just then I don't understand why they weren't giving the ball to Decker. Is it Decker? Yeah, Cameron Decker, right?
Akers.
Aaron
Akers,
Akers,
they were giving it Akers. The guy was averaging 4.5 yards per carry in the first half. They gave him the ball. He had 10 carries for 45 yards or something like that. They gave him the ball 3 times in the second half.
They wanted to throw the ball.
Yeah.
You think they were throwing it? I'm just telling you that it was terrible. Another, these are good games because they're close. I just think they're poorly, a lot of drop passes, execution, bad coaching calls. But
but I don't think we're going to see that in the Super Bowl. I think
I'll say Sean McVay having no timeouts for the last 10 minutes of the game was wild.
I thought that was going to be a problem. That was not a problem at all. That was a little nuts.
I mean, if you're Matt Stafford, you played in Detroit all those years. This is nothing.
But and sure enough, Stafford threw that ball, which could have been interception, and we were expecting that from him. And then Garoppolo, we were expecting from him too. That was another stupid. I just don't understand that guy. But even went to the Super Bowl, they were going to trade him. Poor guy. I want Cincinnati to win the Super Bowl. That's where I'm going. So
I'm happy either way, to tell you the truth. And
it's a very likable matchup.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if it wasn't from Aaron Bernstein from Sports Talk 101 on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. and Ray, if it wasn't for Aaron asking me where's Donald and Von Miller, I forgot they were playing.
I did too. I
totally forgot.
My wife had
those are your man crushes.
Whoa. Von Miller got crushed. Aaron Donald, what did he do at the end of the game? What did he do? What did he do? No. What did he do when he counted? Aaron Donald, what did he do?
Look at the sacks and tackles he's at.
It doesn't matter.
Because he's probably being double covered all the time. I don't think he's getting a lot of one-on-one. Kind of like why was Darrelle Revis having very low numbers? Because they were never throwing to Darrelle Revis. They know he's a threat as a cornerback, so he's never thrown to.
Tebow threw at him, and he was successful. I'm just going to throw that out there. But
God's own quarterback.
Yeah, I hate Tebow, but let me put it to you like this. My wife, these guys know my wife knows nothing about football, although her big crush is always going to be Ed McCaffrey.
But your mother-in-law does.
My mother-in-law knows, yeah. But my wife comes in, I'm watching the second half, and she goes, Rams are our defense. She goes, I thought you said Von Miller played for the Rams. That's harsh right there.
I did not even remember they were on the team.
Yeah.
Aaron chats me, where is Von Miller and Arnold? And I'm like, Darnold, I'm like, oh my God. I forgot they were on the team.
It's going to be different in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
I actually, this is one of the times where I can legitimately say, I just want both teams to have a great time.
You want both teams to have fun.
Because
the officiating is a problem too. It was not that good.
Matt Stafford, I want to see him do well just because I always thought he was a good quarterback in a bad situation. Joe Burrows, I mean, this kid could probably dribble a bowling ball. That's what kind of stud he is. Okay. So this is going to be fun to watch. I'm going to take the Bengals 3 points or 2, but it's going to be fun to watch.
All right, so you got the Bengals. What do you got, Byron?
You know, I'm a defensive guy.
You are.
The Rams, and they're going to put on a show. My man, Aaron Donald, Von Miller's going to show up, and Leonard Floyd are going to have a field day against that offensive line.
And then you ask me why, then you're wondering why Spagnuolo shouldn't be fired. But go ahead, Joe.
Well, it's funny. We just talked about the AFC Championship game, and nobody mentioned the Bengals. We talked for 5 minutes about Mahomes and Andy Reid. So I thought the Bengals weren't getting any respect, and I'm going to lean that way. I think I'd be more excited to see them win. But like John said, I'm just rooting for a good game late in the game. I want to see Burrow win somehow, even though he seems to be a bit of a dick.
Entitled D-bag, yeah.
No,
he just has that swagger.
Did you see what he said
He's
about
had it
his
since LSU?
Did you see what he said about his bling? He
Oh,
had some
he's
shiny.
He's too rich to have fake stuff. That's
yeah.
right.
He's some big shiny fancy thing. A reporter
Okay, I'm
asked him
going
if
back
it
to
was,
Stafford. I'm going with the Rams by 3. You change minds.
He's
Stafford, Rams
a
by 3.
kid,
Mark it
man.
down.
You know, give him a break. He's a kid.
Oh, I was
you
a
know.
lot dumber than that when I was 21. So was Vic. I knew him when he was 21. He was a lot dumber. Than
I didn't meet Vic till he was 22, and even that was kind of weird. But go on.
Exactly. So,
Alex, what do you got?
Alex, who you got?
I got to go with the Rams. I mean, I feel like the Bengals have a shot at closing it out, but I just feel like there's just too much talent on the Rams side for them not to win. And I say that and I jinx myself and they'll get blown out. But
Cooper
Okay, so I'm
Couple
taking the
twists his ankle
Cincinnati
in the
Bengals
second
again.
quarter. Yeah.
Thanks, Alex. Bengals by 3.
Okay,
I'm going with Rams.
I'm going with this is what I'm scared of because it's been so off. No matter who plays in the Super Bowl, whoever's in the Super Bowl, I always want to pick a team so you have somebody to root for because neither one of them are my teams, right? And the sad part is that I like Stafford, like I just always did when he went to Detroit. I like the Georgia Bulldogs.
University of Georgia, yeah.
Exactly, you know that. But I want the Bengals to win.
I do too.
Yeah,
they're doing it for Harambe.
Who do I think is the better team that should win is the Rams. Who I'm rooting for is the Bengals. I'm rooting for a good game, but I'm rooting for the Bengals. They haven't won it in ever.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, think about this for a second. The last time that the Bengals before this year won a playoff game was 1991 or 1990. The first text message wasn't sent until 1992. So no one until this year has ever sent a text about the Bengals winning a playoff game. So no, I'm assuming my pick Bengals by 3.
And Byron sent his first text last year.
Wow. Was it about the Bengals?
It's on his flip phone.
An SMS text.
There we go, that baby. There we go.
Scotty. Yeah, Scotty. Yeah.
That's right.
I hope it's a good game.
Technology.
I'm sorry, a lot of this other stuff is getting in between it. You know, I think the playoffs have been good. I'll tell you that. But they've been good because they've been close. Is my opinion. I just think that the coaching, the playing, the officiating, all that's been bad. So it's kind of weird, you know, just what's taking place there. And I just want a good game, and I hope everybody gets to enjoy it. We got the where's the
You know, it's another week we got, man. So
we got another week.
Yeah.
So we can still change our minds next week.
Change your mind between now and next week.
Yeah. So
I'm not changing my mind.
It's also wild that we've had 54 Super Bowls where the home team, the host stadium never had their home team, and now not only has it happened twice, we have it's like makes me on the okay. Who has it next year? Who does have the Super Bowl next year?
I think Vegas, which
yeah.
Well, Josh
I think we're safe on that one.
Josh McDaniel.
I'm glad. I'm so glad he's in Denver. I mean, in Vegas. I can't tell you.
Actually, it's Arizona next year.
Okay. Little guy playing.
Little guy.
The little guy.
There you go.
That's a possibility, though. That's the funny part
Well,
about
the
that.
temperature's
It's in
low.
Arizona.
Vegas,
Yeah.
in, Vegas in 24, New Orleans in 2025.
I may have to put a future on that just to
It-
have that sit there. Just to
Victor, we got the hookup to get the so we can get a luxury box that costs 1.2 million out there, Los Angeles.
They haven't called me yet to do the show with you, but if they do, we're out there. We're just gonna pay for the flight.
Can me and Joe at least call in during the show?
Hey, I'm not far. Put me on a $100 shuttle. I'll go down there.
Getting there is not the problem.
I'll take the Greyhound, man. I'm all right.
All right, guys. Hey, Alex, it was a pleasure to meet you. And for I gotta get guys. I don't know, but for a young man, I thought he held his own and he was pretty knowledgeable. No,
Yeah,
He was pretty.
Even though he's a Bruins fan, he's all right.
Yeah.
He agreed with me with a lot of stuff. Yay, finally.
As long as he's a Giant fan, we're good, right? That's what we got.
Yeah.
Because first he got on before you guys, and I had to grill him. Like, who are you? and that's when he goes, "Well, no, I tweeted a soccer game, so that ain't the right show." And he goes, "Oh, but then I told the guy I was a Giant fan." I go, "Oh, that makes sense."
Yeah, you're right.
That was the second thing. I was like, I'm a Giants fan. If you ever need anything, he's like, okay, perfect. We have a show tonight.
that was the secret code to get in the door, into the bar, into the club, into the hot part of the bar. Right? It was when he said Giants. I go, oh, okay,
Yeah.
you get it. You get it. But when he said
We're saying
soccer,
friends with Benny.
when he said soccer, I go, all right, wait a second, what soccer? What? I didn't post any clip. But anyways, I thought you did a good job, son, and you know a lot about sports, so that's
Thank you.
impressive. I like to see that. Some people that think they know a lot about sports, and they can't either one articulate or two, they're so non-objective. It's incredible.
I'm right here, Vic.
I don't want to mention any names.
Whoa.
I'll just give initials, John Ronenberg. But I'm just saying,
Square number 5.
Square number 5. Well, that's not fair because everybody here is square, and technically.
Yeah, it floats, Joe. It floats.
Exactly. But gentlemen, again, always a pleasure. I think this was good. You guys had a good time. You joined the show. Please follow us up. Joe, why don't you tell us again about your show? By the way, Alex, Joe has a show. He goes live, I believe, tomorrow. Joe, tell us a little bit of the show, how they can talk about your show.
Yeah, Saturday it's called the Sports Plus Show. You can go to thesportsplusshow.com for details. We air every Saturday, 11 o'clock Eastern at valleyfreeradio.org, and it's also everywhere you can find a podcast except Spotify. We pulled our stuff off Spotify.
Canceled.
We're one of those.
Did you say yours was like a New England show or something? Or?
Well, the radio station's in Northampton, Massachusetts, so we talk about everything, even kind of beyond sports. Half the show lately has been other things beyond sports. I'm trying to get a professor, a sociology professor who's an expert on racial issues to come on and talk about the Flores situation. So trying to line up a good guest. If not, maybe we'll have Byron on.
That would be awesome. I would tune into that.
You want to hear what I gotta say?
So you're gonna listen to my show only if we have Byron on, John?
No,
Thanks.
I did not say that, Joe. Don't even start with me on that. All right.
Vic, if I could throw one thing out there, I know you guys know him. Sal Mistretta, who coached at Uppsala College, just apparently got diagnosed with Parkinson's, which is what killed my dad. So I figured you guys would want to know that, and if you have any way to reach out to him, I can get you his number if you want. I know.
Yeah, please.
Like to hear from you.
If you get it, text it out to me.
Great guy, longtime New Jersey fixture as a wrestling coach, an athletic director, a football coach. Great guy.
Okay. All righty. Well, good, Joe. We'll look forward to your show. Don't forget, we got the Sports 101 on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock, which is pretty late because there are guys on the West Coast side. And then I know Santiago has several. So please tune in. Don't forget to subscribe to all our channels. Alex, please do us a favor. You'll get this. You see this link. If you could pass this out to your friends and your people, let them know you were on the show. We keep these live. They subscribe to our channel on YouTube. If you subscribe and you hit the notification, you'll know anytime we're on the show. More than welcome to come back anytime you want. And we always have different things. We're a little funny group. No, Alex, I guess. Was this what you were expecting?
I had no idea what I was expecting to be.
That's why it's called the Jersey Boy Sports Talk. You don't know what's going to come out of here. We have a whole different bunch of crew.
When I open my mouth, I don't know what's going to come out sometimes.
Yeah, that's what scares us, Joe. That's what
You don't know.
us.
You just start. You don't know where the sentence is going to end. You know.
All I know is that whatever I say, if I say it's black, Byron's going to say it's blue. If I say it's blue, Byron's going to say it's black or yellow.
Whoa. I'm offended right now. Why does it have to be black?
Oh, shoot.
See what I mean?
I'm
If I say
offended.
okay, if I say it's beige,
I'm offended. Beige.
if I say it's turquoise,
I'm offended.
why?
What if I say it's clear?
I'm better.
Okay.
It's clear. All right. So if I say it's clear, he's gonna say.
Now I'm offended. Thanks, Vic.
He can't see. Yeah, we enjoy the show. All right, guys. So don't forget to tune in. By the way, we always end the show. We always ask for donations for the Gary Sinise Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization for first responders and the military. It's the Gary Sinise, SINISE Foundation.org. Please, the first responders, our military always needs any help. So freedom and security are precious gifts that we as Americans should never take for granted. We must do all we can to extend our hand in times of need to those who willingly sacrifice each day to provide that freedom and security. While we can never do enough to show gratitude to our nation's defenders, we can always do a little bit more. Gary Sinise. And please, be careful, out there and, root for the police officers. It's it was a nice, Byron, did you see that nice showing of all the police that came out for those young men that were shot down?
Something that, you don't want to see happen, but, it was nice, showing, from all over the world, the cops, attended these guys' funerals, but, it's just sad that, 22 years old, it's real good.
And, the sad part, Byron, the percentage of police officers getting killed in the line of duty was low, and it seems to be changing, right? And it's just, you guys don't get paid enough to do what you do. So blessings to the families and everyone out there. All right, gentlemen. Well, join us next Thursday at the Jersey Boy Sports Talk at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's on Thursdays for all our friends out there that always ask us, when's your show again?
The same for all year, 8 o'clock.
When is it? Thursday. What time? 8 o'clock. Okay,
8 o'clock.
Oh, you should have gave me notice.
Yeah.
I don't know how to give you notice other than it's at 8 o'clock on Thursday.
Well, I'm just glad. It's funny is you sent the invite last night, and I actually sent a text to everyone to work. And this morning at like 7:30, I have a meeting with my boss. What the hell are you doing texting me at 9 o'clock at night? He's a big old Dallas guy. I'm like, well, because we're trying to get more people on to look at this show. What's it about? Is it we just a bunch of idiots talking sports because it's fun,
Okay, well, the idiots are the guests we invite on the show.
No, the guests aren't idiots. Alex, you're a good guy.
The show hosts are the Mac. So
Well, mac and cheese, definitely. There you go.
Okay, well, let me show you how we remove very easily. All right, good night. God bless. Hey, Alex, again, it's been a pleasure. I hope you had some fun with us, some crazy guys from Jersey. And we're all really from Jersey, believe it or not. Right?
Really?
Actually, Byron and I are from the same hometown, and Joe's dad was Joe's dad was mine and John's college football coach. Byron was my coach too.
Yeah. And me and Vic are frat brothers. So
we're fraternity brothers, so there's kind of relations all around with the whole piece. So God bless everybody, and God bless Coach Sal and everybody out there in the police officers, fallen police officers, and please protect everybody today with the craziness going on. And gentlemen, again, I wish you nothing but great success and continue with your families and everybody. All right, good night.
Same to you guys later.
Thanks, Nick.
Bye,
See you
Bye, guys.